Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of my Tesla Model 3 long range. So the Tesla comes with some accessories which are quite impressive. Things that I haven't had in a previous car. The car I had beforehand was a 320d BMW. So this car actually comes with heated seats in the front, which I know lots of cars have, but it's actually got 3 heated seats in the rear as well as a heated steering wheel, which will be really good in winter. It means I can plug the car in overnight, have it fully charged, the car will be defrosted, it'll be nice and warm, and something the kids will benefit from on a freezing cold winter's morning as well. So here's a bit of a walk around of the exterior of the car. If you ignore the noise of all the 10,000 sheep in the background and also the aircraft above. So if we have a look in the boot of the car, there is actually plenty of space. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in here, but as you can see, it goes kind of all the way back. It's much bigger than the boot that I had on my 3 Series. We've also got this area under here, which is really good for keeping all the power cables, etc. So there really is quite a lot of storage. So when you use the app, which is on your iPhone, when you actually get close to the car, it actually unlocks. So you can basically just go and detect your phone and you can just unlock. Okay, so we're going to open the front boot, or what some people call it, the frunk, just using the app. There we go. Makes a bit of a clonk, but once it opens, it's on a gas strut and it shows you kind of the storage space you have in there as well, which is a good space. I've only ever put one thing in it, but I suppose it'd be quite good for maybe dirty boots if you go out walking. So the car itself's got fairly good all-round visibility. To the back there is quite a small window, so you can't see much to the rear, but when you are reversing, there is a reversing camera which is really clear and it's used on the big screen in the middle. Visibility ahead is great because you haven't got a lot of things in the way. If you're turning, the A-pillars can get in the way a little bit, but everywhere else it's great. The roof itself, you get a fantastic view up as well, and if you're in the back as well, the visibility is even better. So the Tesla itself is very economical to run. Generally you charge the battery up to 80% for normal use. If you're going to go on a long journey, you can increase it to 100. In that way it just preserves the life of the battery. At 80% the car is getting sort of 253 miles, and usable mileage you can get about sort of 230 from that as well. There's some really good things in the car that helps you to drive efficiently as well. So when you use the sat nav, you can actually look at how many miles the car will have and what percentage the battery will be when you remaining when you get there, and it tells you kind of how you're progressing on a chart towards that on your route as well. Cost wise, I've got an Octopus plan with electric at home, which means that overnight, until recently, we'd been charging it 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour. Really handily, I had an email the other day from them saying that the cost was actually going to go down to 7 pence per kilowatt hour. So the car itself gets updates over the air via Wi-Fi, so when it's parked at home. I'm on about the 4th upgrade now, where they just upgrade the software on the car. A few of the upgrades so far have been adaptive headlights, changes to the autopilot. The headlights have been adjusted as well so that when you drive around corners it tries to highlight the route ahead, and there's been a few software fixes as well, where they just sort of upgraded the performance. So one thing I was worried about when I got the car was, I suppose, a bit like most people with electric cars, a bit of range anxiety. We've actually been on some quite long journeys. The first journey we went on was from Northumberland to Blackpool, and we actually found it relatively easily. One thing that is really good is the Tesla supercharger network, which you've probably seen in other videos, but it's really easy to use. Your account is actually pre-registered, so you just plug the car in, it charges really efficiently. When you've got enough miles, you unplug and you automatically build. The Tesla supercharger network as well also seems to be much cheaper than all the other chargers out there as well. And it depends how busy the charging network is as to the kind of cost that you need to pay with the superchargers. Generally, if you go sort of out of peak, it's really cheap. The most expensive I've seen it is about 46 pence per kilowatt hour. So the seats in the Tesla are really comfortable. There's plenty of room. We're a family of 5 and we all easily fit in here. The back, the floor itself is flat because there's no transmission tunnel, which means that there's plenty of room to put your feet as well. So I thought I'd show you a quick sort of functionality check of how everything works. So in the middle, on the left, obviously you've got your indicator controls. On the end there's actually the control for the windscreen wipers. So if you press it once, you get one wipe, as you can see, and it also brings up a display down there which you can then change them from auto up to sort of 1, 2, 3 and off, and you use this scroll wheel on the left. I'll show you. There's the menu there, and there's the scroll wheel which you go up and down with. On the right hand side, what you have is the stalk for drive, neutral, reverse and park, which is this button on the end. So the car itself inside is very minimalist. There's, I suppose, as least buttons as possible. You do have the volume control normally, and then on the right hand side you also have this here, which is the to adjust the speed on the cruise control, and also left to right is the distance from the car in front you decide to keep. Across here we've got the main sort of infotainment unit. Underneath we've got 2 wireless charging sections. We've also got a really large storage bin down here, and also one here as well, which has got plenty space to keep all your stuff. And again, to close it, closes itself. There's 2 cup holders here. The cup holders themselves that come with Tesla are generally a little bit too big, so I bought the silicone insert which came from Amazon, which was about sort of £2.50. Just means the cups just stay there, and obviously if you're accelerating hard they don't fall out or fall over. On the main screen itself, I suppose you've got the map on the left hand side. Because I've got the subscription, means we can display Google Maps, so you get a lot more I suppose a nicer picture. Across on the left down here is where you can kind of select where the nearest chargers are. It shows you whereabouts they are, and how sort of far away they are, and also what speed. It'll also show you if there's any superchargers nearby as well, and also how much the supercharger costs at that time. On the right, you've got the picture of the car, but also you can open the bonnet, some people call it the frunk, and the boot, which you can do with the touch of a button. But also you can see the picture on the car as well, it shows at the same time. So that's it closing as well. Down here where you've got the picture of the car, you can then come across to this new menu here. So controls, so you can basically open the glove box with that button there. You've got Sentry, mirror controls, steering controls. Now to adjust the steering wheel, all you do is you click on that, and then you actually use this wheel here to control the up and down movement of where it would be. So click on restore, goes back to my setting. And the same happens with the door mirrors as well. You've got things like window locks, you can fold the mirrors, etc. We've got dynamics, so you can have acceleration, chill, you can adjust how heavy the steering is, and whether you have creep mode, roll or hold on the drive function. Bit about charging, so it's set at 80%, so on a day-to-day basis you normally take it to 80%. It shows you down here the last time I used a supercharger was Sunday the 9th of June. It cost £20.09, and that was to basically fill it from almost zero up to about, I think I went over 80%, so that's not bad. We've got autopilot. So the autopilot on the car, obviously there's a bit of a demonstration in the video as well. That basically holds the lane, holds the speed in front, but unlocks and lights. It has got adaptive headlights, which is something which came on a new update. So as it says there, selectively dims individual pixels of the high beam to reduce glare for other traffic, and adjusts headlights for curves. So that was through 2 different updates. The first one was the adaptive headlights, where they're basically reducing the glare, but then the most recent one, they've brought in, so it basically adjusts the headlights for curves. I haven't actually had a go at driving this at night since that came in, but I'll let you know how it goes. Bit about displays, bit about trips, so how far we're going between the last charges. So you can see here, since I've got the car, I've done 2,433 miles, and we've used 619 kilowatts hours of energy or electricity, at, well, mostly 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour. Bit about navigation, safety, software, Wi-Fi, etc. Like I said before, because we've got the subscription, it means that the car itself is actually connected. But then we've got some other things along the bottom as well. So you've got your music, which is your iTunes. You've got a toy box. You've got things like a light show. I'll do a separate video on that one. You've got a colorizer, so you can change the color of this. Emissions, so you can make the car fart if you want to. Tracks, so you can then design your own music. A bit about romance, so you can have some nice, you can get cozy. There we go, and blow some nice warm air from the dash. Let's come out of that. Sketchpad, and then a few other things in there as well. We also have radio, and when I can find it, theatre, so you can then have YouTube, Netflix, etc. in the car. One thing which is really good in this car, and whilst the acceleration was very impressive to begin with, I'm kind of getting used to it a bit now. One thing that I haven't got used to yet is how great the sound system is. There is a lot of speakers in this car. The bass is amazing. It's really clear as well. When I've done some Googling, it seems as though that Tesla actually employed some engineers from Bang & Olufsen to design the speakers in the car, and it is the best sound I've heard for any car setup. Then you've got things like down here, a bit about things like heated seats and stuff, heated steering wheel, And basically, once you get used to it, it's quite easy to work around. When you're driving, you've probably seen the speedometer comes up here, and this shows you how many miles are left on the remaining charge. The last time I charged it was about 3 days ago as well, so it is very economical, and the battery is big enough on this as well. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.